On the show, in Wheelspin, we drive the new Porsche Cayenne. In Wheelspin, we drive the Mercedes E350. And on the track, we bring you the action from the third round of the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. If you are a hard man to please and you have a long wish list of all that you'd like to see in your car, then I have a vehicle which is going to please you immensely. A car which will take you off-road as easily as it can drive you within the city. A car which has everything that you can conceive of in terms of luxury, and also something which many cars fail to offer: sheer driving pleasure. The new Porsche Cayenne is what I'm driving today. And this is a car which is basically a sports car in the guise of an SUV. The Cayenne is certainly one of the most desired SUV not only in India but globally as well. And what makes it so is the Porsche DNA, which has given it exemplary handling and driving capabilities. The second generation Cayenne was globally launched in 2010 and introduced in India the same year. And this is the first facelift that it has received. This 2014 Cayenne was first shown to the public at this year's Paris Motor Show in September. So what's new in the new Porsche Cayenne? At first glance, you might be tempted to say, not a whole lot, because she still uses the same body shell and the design elements remain the same. But a closer look will tell you that she now gets Bison-on headlamps, LED daylight running lights and a new grille up front. And if you do happen to walk to the rear of the car, you will find that the taillight cluster is new, and she now gets twin exhausts which are much bigger in size and gives the car a much more chunkier appearance. The changes might not be numerous, but it is enough to separate this from the existing one, and it certainly adds to the car as it does freshen up things. The Cayenne is a little over 4.8 meters long and sits on a wheelbase of almost 2.9 meters, which doesn't really make it a big SUV. But with its distinctive and muscular lines, it does look like an SUV that you want to drive. And the Porsche badge ensures that you not only get the very best in terms of design, quality, and of course the ride and handling. And this is what puts the Cayenne almost on top of the pecking order in the SUV world. The Cayenne is very well made, and what I like is the attention to detail, like this. If you happen to leave the door half open, then it shuts by itself, a new feature in this new Cayenne. Not much has changed inside the new Cayenne as well, but what you get now is a new steering wheel wrapped in leather and very sporty looking. In fact, this comes from the Spider 918 model, and now you get paddle shifts as standard as well. So overall, it's an improvement and it looks quite good. In terms of features, the Cayenne pretty much has everything that you might look for in a top-notch SUV. Leather seats, leather fascia with a large 7-inch color touchscreen display, a panoramic sunroof and a Bose surround system to top off things. The interiors of the Cayenne has always been very nice, and this new one too remains the same. Very plush, very tastefully done, and of course comfortable. It's more in the tradition of a luxury car than an SUV really, and comes with all the gizmos and the features you can think of. The interiors might be well appointed, but in terms of space, especially in the back, things can get a bit tight if you, in true Indian tradition, try to pack in more than the prescribed for adults. Because this is where the Cayenne does fall short as compared to some other SUVs in the market. But the trade-off is quite justified if you happen to spend more time on the driver's seat rather than on the rear. And that's exactly what you should be doing if you're buying into the Porsche brand, which stands, most importantly, for driving pleasure. But in true SUV tradition, it also has this button here, and what this button does is to raise the height of the car, and you'll be surprised to what levels this goes up to. It's 268 millimeters of ground clearance that this new Cayenne has, and that I think is a lot. But when you're driving on the normal roads, it settles down at around 180 millimeters, which is the normal mode. But then in the sport mode, you can further lower the height of the car to increase the handling capabilities. And if you do happen to turn off the paved tarmac, you will discover that the Cayenne doesn't fall short of being a full-blown SUV. You can raise the height of the car up to 268 millimeters, and this ensures that you will go over most of what lies in your path. Plus, of course, the all-wheel drive with a permanent 4-wheel drive lock helps. And the 18-inch wheels adds to these capabilities with 580 Newton meters of torque coming in quite handy. If you are somebody who always wanted an SUV but never got one because you didn't like the handling and the driving part of that, then you should drive this Cayenne. And if you do that, you will know that everything is so very different from any other regular SUV. The Cayenne is one car which will satisfy any keen driver. It's really a pleasure to drive this Cayenne and push it. And the more you push it, the more you like this car because it's so responsive. The engine is mated to a gearbox which changes with ease and flawlessly. In fact, it's hard to fault this car in terms of driving. I just wish all SUVs were like this. What really sets the Cayenne apart from any other SUV in the Indian market is the driving dynamics. It really feels as if you are at the wheels of a fast-paced performance sedan rather than an SUV. It responds to your every wish and fancy, and you know exactly where you are going with this. The power delivery is linear, the engine is quiet and refined. In terms of driving modes, you get 3, a comfort for your regular in-city driving, then you get the Sport and the Sport Plus for really fast-paced action. Plus, you have got an off-road as well as in-city driving mode. Porsche, in fact, is going to offer this Cayenne in a large range of engine options. For to be precise, what we drive today is the base diesel, the V6 3-litre, which churns out 245 brake horsepower. And the range topping is the petrol 4.8-litre, which churns out 520 brake horsepower. And that, I presume, should be fun to drive. Sandwiched in between is a 3.6-litre petrol engine as well as a 4.2-litre diesel. So wide range to choose from in terms of engine options and also in terms of your wallet size, because the more powerful it becomes, the more expensive it gets. But driving this base 3-litre V6, I can tell you, even if you opt for this one, you'd be quite happy with it. It has adequate juice to power you through your everyday routine as well as on the highway. The Cayenne, as to be expected, comes with an array of both passive and active safety features like dual-stage 6 airbags, Porsche Stability Management System, EBD, automatic hold function, lane departure warning, park assist, just to name a few. If you're looking for a sporty car full of luxuries and capable of taking you anywhere, then I suggest you take a serious look at this new Cayenne here, because this is one car which combines all these attributes very, very well indeed. Armed with a 4x4 and a high ground clearance, she is capable of going over any terrain almost. And if you spend time behind the wheel, she is a shared driver's car. And in terms of luxury, she can match any luxury sedan. But remember, all these things don't come in cheap. The basic Cayenne that we drive, the V6, cost a little over 1 crore, and it stretches all the way to rupees 2 crores for the top of the line V8. Okay, the Cayenne, like all good things of life, comes at a cost. But then if you do manage to park this in your garage, what you will get is a vehicle with which there won't be any arguments regarding its capabilities, lineage, and of course the unmatched driving pleasure it will bring you every time you settle in behind the driver's seat. And this is why Porsche Cayenne is such a hot property. Coming up next, in Wheelspin, we drive the Mercedes E350. What I have with me, and this might take you by surprise a bit, is a car which is not only the largest selling car from Mercedes-Benz India, but is also the largest selling luxury sedan in the country, having sold over 25,000 units. Yes, the E-Class from Mercedes. And this might look like the regular E-Class to you, but we have it on the show, so something has to be different. And the difference is that this is the latest E-Class from Mercedes-Benz and also the most powerful E-Class. Mercedes-Benz India had launched the 350 CDI as an addition to the E-Class range to attract buyers who are looking for performance, along with luxury and brand name. The other two variants of the E-Class are the E200 petrol and the E250 CDI in diesel. While the petrol uses a 2-litre engine, the common rail diesel is powered by a 2.2-litre engine. The E-Class is the flagship of the Mercedes brand in India and is the favorite of buyers here. This is the E350 CDI, and once you pop open this large bonnet, the sight that greets you is sure to gladden your heart if you happen to be a keen driver. The V6 here, this is a 3-litre unit, produces over 261 brake horsepower, and this seems like a car which is going to be fun to drive. So time for me to get in behind the wheel. Although the E350 CDI is a new addition to the E range, but visibly there is hardly anything to distinguish it from its other siblings, except for the badging on the boot. But if you look closely, you will find that there have been a few feature additions to the car. Just like the interiors too haven't changed at all, except that there have been addition of some features like a panoramic sunroof, which now Mercedes offers in the entire E-Class after introducing it in this car. And then there is a little addition like a 360-degree camera, which of course helps you park better. The interiors of the E-Class have always been a nice place to spend time in, spacious and well appointed. And the new 350 comes with high-gloss black ash wood trim for the fascia, leather seats which are electrically adjustable for the driver and the front passenger, and it comes with individual air conditioning as well, 17.8cm high-resolution color display, internet connectivity, USB and Bluetooth connectivity, a storage space of 10 GB and navigation, along with a Harman Kardon sound system. The bigger 3-litre V6 motor under the bonnet has made all the difference to this E-Class, and there is no doubt in my mind that this E-Class has now transformed itself into a complete driver's car. The time you spend behind the wheel has now become very enjoyable. There is abundance of power right through the rev band, and all you have to do is blip the throttle. The engine is mated to a 7-speed G-tronic automatic gearbox, which is really smooth and adds to the pleasure of driving. Power delivery is quite nice and the engine is quite smooth, but the only thing that I didn't like is that when you initially fire up the engine, there is some noise which intrudes into the cabin. But once the engine warms up and you settle down into a cruising mode, you don't hear much of that. The big question now is this engine worth the price difference? In my opinion, yes it is, because overall as a package this E-Class works better because it's now much more complete. It looks good, has all the luxury features, and now drives just as well. And on top of that, this is a diesel engine, so you can expect good fuel economy out of it. What is impressive is that the E350 CDI comes with class-leading 8 airbags and a wide range of safety features to ensure that you are protected in case of any eventuality. If you're looking for a luxury sedan or for that matter an E-Class, and if you're not really short of pennies, then I think you should look at this E350 CDI, because this is a car which not only has all the features of the regular C-Class, but is also a car which drives exceptionally well. And if you do happen to be a keen driver and spend some time behind the wheel of this car, you're sure to be rewarded. I think the addition of the 350 CDI to the E-Class range will certainly value add, because now Mercedes can attract the keen drivers as well, something which Mercedes have so far failed to do. The E350 CDI is priced at Rs 57 lakhs ex-showroom New Delhi, while as the base 4-cylinder 2.2-litre diesel, the E250 will set you back by around Rs 48 lakhs, and the petrol variant, the E200, is priced at Rs 46 lakhs. Coming up next, on the track we bring you the action from the third round of the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. The third round of the JK Tyre National Racing Championship, which was held on the Buddh International Circuit, continues to provide the much-needed excitement as the races progressed. The day's proceedings started on day 2 of the third round with the action from the Volkswagen Polo R Cup, which was one of the most closely contested races on the previous day and was won by Lee Keshav. And the big question now was, will Lee Keshav be able to repeat his victory on day 2 in the second race? This round also witnessed the participation of overseas drivers, and it was Gosia from Poland who had finished on the podium in race 1 in second place. As the lights turned green, 17 identical race-prepared Polos raced out of the starting line to the first corner, which saw intense action for the lead. The Polo R Cup is one race which, owing to the fact that all the cars are the same, witnesses some close action, with young drivers out to make an impression and gain some valuable racing experience. And the 5.14-kilometer Buddh circuit was just the right place for this. And after 8 laps of really competitive racing, it was the overseas driver Dylan Pereira from Poland who overcame some stiff competition from the local lads to finish on top of the podium. Dylan had finished 4th in the previous race, but this time there was no stopping him as he clocked 22 minutes and 11 seconds to win this one. He was followed by Karminder Pal Singh from Delhi, who finished 2nd, and the podium position was rounded off by Kartik Tharani from Chennai in 3rd place. The The next race was the fastest race of the day, the BMW Formula Race 3, which saw speeds in excess of 200 km on the BIC straights. As the lights turned green and the cars raced out to the first corner, it was clear that there will be some fast and furious action. This is a race where young drivers gain valuable experience before graduating to bigger open-wheel racing cars. And in the contentions are budding drivers like Vishnu Prasad and Akhil Ravindra, who finished on the podium in race 2. But sitting on the rear of the grid were two of India's most popular race car drivers, Arman Ibrahim and Aditya Patel, who were given wildcard entries and were not part of the championship. They were here just to show how the trick is done and how you get really fast timings on the track. The BMW Formula cars are powered by a 2-liter BMW engines which produce 142 brake horsepower as peak power. But the lightweight chassis ensures that the cars are fast and highly maneuverable through the corners and the chicanes. After 10 laps of close racing, it was Vishnu Prasad once again who eventually took the checker, with Akhil Ravindra in second place and Anand Shanmugam in third place. The last race of the day was not only different but equally exciting. For the first time, we saw action on two wheels in the JK National Racing Championship as privateers rode their superbikes on the track. The machines were as different as riding styles were, and we saw the Kawasaki's and the BMWs fighting it out on the twisty circuit. These were amateur riders who have taken to the track to experience the thrill of motorcycle racing. Race brought the crowd to their feet as the shrieking machines with the throttle wide open raced past the grandstand. It was Kulwant Singh Monty who won with a timing of 16 minutes 55 seconds. And he was followed by Gurvinder Singh, who finished in the second position with a timing of 17 minutes and 1 second. And the podium was rounded off by Bhupinder Singh in third place. And with the end of this race, it was curtain time for the third round of the JK National Racing Championship.
Yes,